Calling the,
Got it.
thank you. 6:34, we're calling the conservation regular meeting to order on Thursday, June 9th, 2022. Roll call. President Marty McLaughlin, Linda Andros, Susan Schweitzer by Zoom, Robin Bates Mason in person, John Seal by Zoom, and Pam Flynn monitoring the meeting. First order of business to approve the regular meeting minutes of May 12th, 2022. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. Is it May? Okay, have we approved March 10th?
I believe we did that in the prior meeting, or you would have done it last meeting.
Did we? Okay.
And since I wasn't at the meeting on May 12th, I cannot second or approve.
Right, and John isn't here.
John is not here.
So I think we have to, and Marty wasn't here, so we can't.
Okay.
We don't have.
We will postpone the minute approval until July meeting. The first order of business, I should make a point that we're going to be relatively quick today. In our discussions, there are some other appointments that have been made that require us to leave here about 7 p.m. So it'll be a quick update.
Okay.
And we'll start with anything, any updates we can get on the new Canaan solar certification.
Meeting with Liam on Monday from Sustainable Connecticut to start putting together the application. Going to have a meeting of the team. Going to see if I can do one in July. But we are having issues with our equity actions. We're trying to. We might now need another one according to Sustainable Connecticut, and it's hard to find equity actions in a town like Pavilion.
Would swap shop be an equity action?
So swap shop could be equity action if we do something like hold a meeting with various stakeholders in town to discuss it, and also how we could use it to possibly help in human services or the thrift shop itself. And it doesn't need to happen, but it needs to be discussed and what then. So if the equity actions we have is the farmers market, the meeting we had during the pandemic, but they're saying that might not be able to be used for this application now. The transfer station, because we did learn that passes are available. Bethany can give them out and we can just bring them. So that gives recycling and various materials to low-income households. Now we need one. So yeah, the transfer station was one I was hoping, I mean, that's what I was hoping for, but now we might need to get another one.
Okay.
What would be an example?
So an equity action, what a lot of towns do is they'll have, they'll do a, what's it called, a walking, not a walking tour, but a, sorry, Chris, I'm forgetting the name of it. It's
Green Lake or?
but discuss either the town, the walking paths, the sidewalks, the accessibility.
Kind of like a complete streets kind of approach.
Exactly. But our town's already done that. That's a problem. So we're just trying to find things. And unfortunately, in my opinion, Sustainable Connecticut is kind of big. Yes, the equity action that we did have for bronze certification was we thought during the pandemic to get more seniors at the farmers market. They would want rides, but when we had a meeting, it was the exact opposite of what they wanted. But because we met with various, we sent out surveys, we met with various stakeholders, that was considered. Actually, they highlighted it because it showed that people had something to do.
How's that a change from the sort of farmers market situation? Is that working out for the vendors?
I think it is. I mean, it's, you know, it's not as pretty in my opinion, but they're doing really well. They don't need the police officers there because the traffic isn't an issue. And they seem pretty busy. So and I know that Lexi, the farmer market master, now the town is allowed her to keep a trailer there. So I think they're
adjusted and they're making
yeah,
they're making it work. It's definitely more space for
it's more space, and I think it saves money for her because she doesn't have to pay for police officers to direct traffic
There you go.
and more parking actually. So
So what about the food pantry? Is there anything that could be done? with the food pantry?
We could put something together, maybe where we work with St. Mark's, maybe even with the Gospel Garden. They
That's
have
what I
that.
was thinking.
Yeah, and bring in the various stakeholders and how we could help, maybe bring in the high school kids.
So maybe get diapers.
Yeah, no, but the food pantry, actually, I didn't even think of it, that's a good one, so when my meeting on Monday, I'll ask Liam and Lily. If that could be one, because that's something that we can put together,
Yes. we could do that.
yeah.
Okay,
All right, well, if there's anything else we can do to help, I know we're trying to support the swap shop program as well. I don't know whether we've had any more information on what it takes to set up from Tiger and
I think Tiger was gonna work on them,
work on it.
he's not here, so I don't wanna.
All right, we'll have to come back to him.
Yeah.
yeah, so I'll ask again, I'm always asking again about the water test the kid at the high school.
So it's in there, it's the application, so we have it and we have it in the format, and when the application goes in, it will be, but the application goes in as one full unit.
I see,
So it doesn't go in.
individually, I see. Okay. Because we're repeating that now.
Yes.
Great. If there's nothing else on that front, let's talk about the Quiet Neighborhood Initiative and kind of get some response from, I was unable to attend, but you were attending. Can we get some feedback and then a discussion of what are the likely next steps?
Well, I think that there are a number of ways that we could do it, but I think that the best approach would be to raise awareness in the town.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be through any number of media outlets, even if it's just the Conservation Commission newsletter, the inserts, perhaps inviting quiet neighborhoods to come in and give a presentation at the library, just raise awareness of all of the issues that and problems that leaf blowers or electric or gas powered lawn care machines cause.
Right. So in the discussion, there's always going to be a mixture of opinion. There's going to be people say it makes tremendous sense, and other people who say I can't make the transition now, or the transition will be too costly, or.
Well, I think that the resistance that I felt that was, and you can address this also, Robin, that from the comments was mostly that they weren't really listening to the fact that we were not banning leaf blowers, but that we're suggesting that there be a limitation on their use. So I think that we would have to make that clear. And then if we do want to proceed, we could say that we have a long-range plan and then deal with it on an annual basis if we feel like it's important, or that people have bought into it at all. I don't know that we actually need to have an ordinance right now, but just really raise the awareness, and perhaps we could conduct a survey. But I would not conduct a survey before we raise awareness. That would be putting the cart before the horse.
Okay.
Yeah, I think people on it thought that there was a full ban coming.
Yeah,
Even
though I said, what
Yeah.
I did was no, we just want to limit it, but people immediately, no, they just didn't hear that. No, we're not banning leaf blowers, we're just restricting their use.
Yeah, so
So anyway, I don't know how we, well, that would be in our newsletter, how we would talk about how we would present it.
Right, and the benefits of it. I did check with a potential insert into the new mailer, but we're behind the schedule. We didn't have that. They're going to rerun last year's July one, which is transfer station and open space and things like that. That'll be redone. But I think it behooves us, because this is something that a lot of people feel strongly about, and you're going to encounter people who are going to misinterpret or say, don't take away my leaf blower, don't take away my
And
whatever.
I think that the people that came to the meeting already had a bias. They already just heard ban and they didn't listen to anything else.
Got it.
So, and I do think that, if there is another public meeting, which I think was, a suggestion,
Mhm.
we should probably wait again until we raise awareness a bit. But we could definitely invite, the Greenwich Quiet Yards to come in and discuss there. I think that would be more something that we would do in the commission rather than.
Right. Well, perhaps we can,
As the B&O committee.
so awareness and potentially schedule something for the September. I mean, as part of that ongoing beat of awareness, schedule the Greenwich crew to come in September and give a 15-minute talk on where they're going. Are they also working on an ordinance, or have they gotten that far, or is it meeting with similar levels of resistance?
So they already have something in place. I thought it was just during COVID, but I think it stayed about limitations of the amount of leaf blowers for the size of the property. It seems like Westchester, the town of Westchester, like Congress just passed the leaf blower ordinance. So they're gonna be following the same route as Bedford and a few other towns, unlike Larchmont and Scarsdale have done a complete ban. They'll be doing, I think it's, leaf blowers are allowed September 15th through May 15th. No Sundays and no holidays.
So-
Gaps.
So there are some seasonal.
They're seasonal. Bedford's getting really strict. Bedford is right now that, and then I think next year it's just a. No, exactly, but it's like a 2-week window in fall and spring. So, and I don't know if that's just, because I don't understand New York Hamlet, if that means the entire town or just the.
Right.
Center.
Just, so I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
The Hamlet, so
Yeah.
Connecticut Borough, I don't know. So, yeah, and
Greenwich is working very hard, in doing it and investing a lot of time and trying to get some, and there's still, I think it's still, needs to be presented to the town council, but, there's still a bit of a ways from it. And she did mention to me, I mean, was very frustrated, Svetlana, with the progress, but they're keeping on.
yeah, I would say, talk to Tom and Hillary, because I think they were gonna have Tom Buckworth and Hillary were co-chairs of the ordinance committee, because I believe they were gonna have another meeting.
All right,
So one complaint is that people didn't know about this meeting,
got it.
so.
All right, well, the way I look at it is we're starting this talk.
Do you need a file for the insert?
Tiger said they had it from previously, but if you have it, send it to Tiger.
Because if you want updates to it,
I think he was gonna go with the same one.
Oh, okay.
They may have already had copies, but
that's fine.
if you have it, I looked for it, I couldn't only find the December one, I couldn't find the.
Yeah, I got it.
If you have it, send it to me.
Okay.
Just to be sure. So 2 things: newsletter, increase awareness, and potentially schedule another meeting in September. Invite the Greenwich team in for a 15-minute talk. And then broadcast it more widely. Just say, let's get, I think if the ordinance committee wants to work on something, they got to have a sense of where's the public interest. It can't be, it has to be kind of a broader constituent than just the conservation commissioners and the people who promote the idea. So let's take it to that step. Let's do that.
Just to a question about that.
Sure.
When I spoke to Elizabeth Dempsey and Svetlana Wasserman from the Greenwich Group a couple weeks ago, actually probably more than a month ago, they said that they'd done a survey and gotten 700 responses from Greenwich residents. I'm wondering, can we do a survey also and get the word out there? Because a lot of people don't even know that this is something that can be discussed or regulated, I would suspect.
So we did get a copy of the survey. I do have a copy of that, and I sent it, actually distributed to the bylaws and ordinance committee, so they have copies of it as well. And we, at the meeting, we did discuss the possibility of having a survey. But I think, as we just mentioned, I think we want to raise awareness of the issues before we try to conduct a survey. So that would be where we would start perhaps in September, the discussions of how to raise awareness, inviting ordinary nonprofits that specialize in.
Right. And I think that maybe, again, it's always difficult, John, to reach out and to do a whole town survey. It would be a big project, but maybe there's a way in the December tax mailer to send out a notice with a website, say, please complete this survey.
Yes.
And then we can collect data in the course of January. I mean, I don't know whether it's quite, I'm a little frustrated, but it'd be great if the town had an email list for town residents, but it doesn't yet. Or if it does, it doesn't share it. So
Is that right? Did you check on that?
I'm trying to.
Because they obviously had email addresses for COVID notifications.
And they had telephone numbers for
Telephone
persons,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think I'll explore that, but your point of getting the survey, I think, John, is it will raise awareness, but it will also show greater, data support among the 22,000 residents or 7,500 residences about this concept of substitution.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm just concerned that raising awareness will reach just a small group of people who are already interested in, and that somehow, there are probably a lot of people who are really annoyed and frustrated by this noise and have no idea what can be done about it.
Right.
And
Right.
probably quite a large silent majority out there.
Yeah. No, I think that there's going to be that big middle group, and then we have to kind of like the big supporters,
There is
and then there
also
are the people who
a
just don't
group
want.
of dissidents out
The
there.
people who don't want to be told what they can or can't do, and need to be encouraged, or incentivized, or chided. I'm not quite sure how to describe it, but
The survey results of the Greenwich survey, showed that there were, a high majority of people who wanted some kind of restriction.
Mm.
And
and I'm sure. Pardon?
Send out the survey.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, John, we'll take that suggestion on board.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Next topic will be river testing. I understand we're already started.
yes, we started this week. I did get some results from Kira already.
Wow.
about the oxygen levels in the ponds, but not, of course, the nutrient levels. So, yeah, they're busy.
Good,
And,
good. Yeah, I think that with 2 years of data, we really, this is another great opportunity for a newsletter item to send out there. So there might be a way, if I can get a way to email out, which is the most efficient, email out a survey, newsletter with a survey monkey attached to it. I think we could become more effective, and I'd like to do it because I'd like to get the Conservation Commission thoughts out there more broadly as we head into the 2024 plan of conservation and development. Which, by the way, John, would be another mechanism to introduce things for better neighborhoods and black neighborhoods. It's sort of like, if you can get it in there, it definitely starts to use on where we go.
But did you say is that 2024? Did you say?
It gets published in 2024, but they begin working on it in 2023, and it becomes the 10-year planning document for the town. So the last one was 2014.
Okay. Seems.
I was hoping that we could get the water testing science team certification. We could do a press release about how they, how they contributed to our certifications. And,
So it's hopefully it's gonna be,
but
maybe in August, hopefully sometime we'll get the equity.
That'd be great.
but we also awarded, we're going to present those awards.
Oh, yeah, we did actually at the New Canaan High School Awards ceremony.
Yeah.
The Conservation Commission, through the Press Briscoe, made 2 $500 awards. One to the New Canaan High School Science Team, Activity Fund, and another to the Service League of Boys. which was great because the Surgeon Street boys then turned around and made $1,000 contribution to the Friends of Bristol in support of that program. So it seems, I kind of like the 2 for 1.
Yeah.
In fact, anyway, it was a positive thing. Native tree planting program, Tiger's not on. He is getting some support from the Church of the LDS community to plant 20 trees, and I think he's working directly with them on where those plantings might be. And I was encouraging him to think about South Ave, which looks pretty bare in spots, as well as I think they want to do tree replacement of trees that have fallen or died in Saks, which isn't far from their church as well. So that seems to be in hand, although I would like to see more tree planting. And I think that's a great equity argument as well. Whether Sustainable CP buys into that in Connecticut is another question. It's more of an urban than a.
Yeah, they'll look at our tree canopy and they'll say,
Yeah, you have pretty good coverage.
yeah.
Except in the middle of town.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything you'd like to say about the food scraps? Is it continuing to grow, build, or does it need another push?
Needs a little bit of a push, I think. I checked the bins this past week, actually, when I never bring food scraps because I do it at home, but I brought some, and compared to 2 weeks ago, there was less plastic in there, which was good. I didn't see any plastic, so there needs to be a lot more push in education that plastic. We don't know the reasons why people are putting plastic bags in. But they are. I think there could be some confusion about compostable bags, or it could just be they think that once it reaches a destination, someone takes it out. So working on that, we are working with right now, Planning Canada is working with 2 young women on their initiative called NC Forward. It's NCFWR.
Buchanan Nature Forward.
Buchanan Forward.
Okay.
But it's no vowels in it. That's the logo. And they're working with the restaurants. It's Marianne Ferreira, I think I have her last name right, and it's Izzy Kaufman.
Okay.
Just
So
won. Yeah, Greenology. She just won the Aquarians Environmental Award this past weekend. So they've been working with restaurants, and they have a few lined up. So we're gonna link that with in publicity. They're just waiting to see if they get a grant
For food scraps.
it's for food scraps, they're working with the restaurants.
Right.
About it, and they're waiting to see if they get a grant on June 17th. If not, we'll do a Sustainable Connecticut, but we'll tie that in for publicity and try to get people to stop using plastic.
Yeah, not easy. Not
Yeah.
easy.
There used to be a nonprofit, I'm sure it's still operative, that would take some food from restaurants and then take them to the shelter, take it to the shelter.
So they are also working with Food Rescue.
Okay.
Yeah, so Walter Stewart's and a lot of other places work with Food Rescue, and
So that's not going to be something new. Okay.
no, and actually these two young women, they're actually already working with Food Rescue.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna skip solar power because we don't have an update. Swap shop, we're waiting for a discussion with Tiger. I'm holding in reserve conservation commission funds for that. And Tiger's aware of that, so
Yes,
I'd
you
love
just
to
need,
see that.
you need that moved by June 30th.
I needed moved or allocated and PO
Yeah.
by then. All right, we'll skip reverse vending machines. I don't have a lot to update you on with regards to Bristol, other than the capital plan spending of 100,000 capital is approved. And the construction plans have been submitted. And I believe that Maria and Tiger will prepare for a bid package in the course of July, and the bid will go out in August and be awarded in September. By September, I hope that they will have completed phase 2, which has been delayed. I think it's shifting priorities on what's going on, but the team that's putting it in has been pulled out doing another project, but hopefully they'll be back in there soon to complete the phase 2.
Chris, that oil leak is over and done with.
The oil leak is over and done with as far as the deep is concerned. The Department of Environment or Energy and Environmental Protection. They've closed the book on it from their side. A tremendous amount of work was done to pull out like 80 tons of material. My observation at Bristow is that if you stir the banks up a little bit, you'll get a little oil sheen. So obviously it embeds to a certain extent, but between sunlight and rainstorms, it just eventually, evaporates or flows down.
Eventually.
I don't believe we're testing for any kind of oil, although.
I talked to Nikki about that, and she said unless it's surface, she can't, that's not something they do, because
Got
it's
it.
not water.
She
If
can't-
we wanted to do that, we would have to get some other kind of testing
Right.
protocol to
Right.
actually test the
They would
soil.
come in and scrape the margins of the pond
Yeah.
and see whether there's.
Yeah.
residue in it.
Um,
I know we did the Green Link maps and we've given those out. I still think I have 50 or 75 if you need some more.
Yeah, I think Beth Stanford's gonna help put them on one.
Okay, good. That'd be great. And the only other piece of news is that the Center Crossing Pavilion, which has been supported by the Exchange Club and by the Anderson Family Foundation, is one of those victims of supply chain. And so while the footings will be installed hopefully by September, the building itself isn't scheduled to come on board until February. So
Well, we'll see.
yeah, so and again, that's now almost 2 years out and trying to get it done. With that, I'll just open it up to any general questions that anyone has. And Linda or Robin or Marty or Susan, if you have any points you'd like to raise.
The cameras in the park.
That's a good one. I have not followed up on that since I got back from Europe, but I will follow up on that in terms of identifying quality game cameras with an infrared, so they can pick up night movement and place a few of them in the park.
And then possibly talk about some kind of program for students to do some monitoring of bird activity and behavior.
Also, I don't know whether there's the green team, green league, whether that's the group that wants to do it or whether we can reach out. I know that Newell Cotton and his son Avery are interested in that. And
Right, so Avery was interested in it.
Mhm.
I did notice that Avery was one of the students on site for the testing. I think
okay.
it was today, they did it today or yesterday.
Mhm.
So he is involved with that, but he
Wow.
did say he was interested if there was some kind of bird behavior program that we developed that they could monitor.
All right, I
We
will.
could talk to Frank Bella about
Right.
how we might set something like that.
Got it. Well, the good news is the bird count is up to 89 with a goal of getting to 100 by 2024. So 11, we need to identify 11 other species and we'd be back to the numbers we had back in 2024 or when they first did it.
That's great.
Thank you for those points. If there are no further points, I'm
I've
gonna,
got a meeting to go to.
okay, I'll move to
Hurry up.
close the Conservation Commission meeting at 7:02.
The
All in
author,
favor? Aye.
the author at the library is speaking tonight.
Oh,
His wife was Evelyn's cousin.
who?
The
Evelyn?
author, Evelyn's my wife,
Oh,
so his wife
uh-huh.
is a cousin to Evelyn. I just found that, but so, we got to call, email on it.
Yeah.
Remind us.
Yeah.
I want to make that meeting.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I think we're finished.
Okay.
So
All in
maybe
favor?
that's it.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Not sure, hi Susan, are you there? Maybe not on the thought, so we can, where's the
End.
end?
On the
All
right.
the way over.
And
Thank you, goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
bye, Susan.
Bye, Susan.